Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm bringing you essay tips on the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. Step-by-step guidance on how to write the essays for the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. There are about 11 different essays and I'll be taking you through the techniques and tips of writing these essays. This video will probably be divided into two parts because we can't talk about all the 11 in just one video. It will be too long. So I'll be doing the first 5 or 6 essays in this video. And in the subsequent video, which I'll be releasing sooner than later, I'll be doing the other essays. So let's get straight into these essays without any further delay. So the first essay here requires you to write how the course you intend to study relates to development issues at the global, national, or local level. And then secondly, how the development issue or issues you're interested in is connected to the core themes of the Commonwealth Scholarship. But before we go into the essays, we are told here to select the SDGs that closely relate to your area of interest. So there, as you know, I hope you know this already, there are 17 different SDGs, Sustainable Development goals. So you have to select them, the 3 closest SDGs, as regarding your particular focus, your particular interest. And of course, you can have multiple applications. A number of people have asked me whether they can apply to several schools and different universities, different courses. That is possible. In your portal, in your dashboard, you can apply to different universities, to different schools, to different areas of interest. So you might select some SDGs for now, and in your other application, you're selecting different sets of SDGs. So it's quite important. I'll quickly show you how to make multiple applications in one portal before we go into these essays, because I get this question a lot in my DM and in my social media handles. So imagine you're logging into your portal. This is an existing application, the one I've started already. You can always start a new one by clicking on Start New. So you have one already, you can always start another one. It's as simple as that. And you can do as many applications as possible, as many universities as you're qualified for as possible. So now let's return to our essay tips. Yes guys, we're back to the essays, and as I said, choose the 3 closest SDGs to your area of interest. And if you're not sure about the details of this SDGs, you can go to the SDG official website. This is it here. Probably put a link. Yes, I'll probably put a link to this site at the description box of this video, and you can read them closely and see what they entail and check for the ones that closely align with your academic and professional interests. So these are the SDGs. So let's go to the essay. Let's go to the essay. So if you look closely, I've written a number of bullet points already. I've written a number of bullet points that would guide our discussions. I'll probably make it bolder to make it more obvious. Exactly. Make it more obvious for you. So the first question, as I said, is how your proposed study relates to developmental issues, global developmental issues, national developmental issues, or community, local level developmental issues. And secondly, how are these developmental issues you're interested in related to the core themes of the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship? So first, we'll start with what I call a deductive method. And forget the grammar, it means something quite simple. It means starting from the general to the particular. starting from general trend, national trends, to particular experiences, to your particular encounter with this issue, with this problem. And when I say general trend or national trend, I mean things that are of global interest or national interest or broad interest that a number of people are talking about, a number of countries are talking about, that the world probably is talking about. And a very good place to start in your essay is to tap into global discussions. Global discussions. A good place to start is, once again, the SDGs, because the SDGs are part of the global discussion. How the world, or what governments and individuals can steer their affairs towards a common goal, towards a collective common goal. So this is a global goal that every government, every individual should be striving towards. So choose an SDG or a set of SDGs that best align with the issue or the problem you're trying to solve. So it could be zero hunger. It could be something about poverty, ending poverty. It could be about gender equality. Could be about decent work, about environment. So you just choose one or two of those interesting SDGs, global trends, global events, and try to connect your own concern with these global events. You could start by saying that as the world races to actualize this sustainable development goal, you are concerned that your country or your community is lagging behind because of a number of issues. So there are a number of obstacles preventing your country from achieving these sustainable development goals. And I think the target is 2030, I believe. That your country is running behind the clock because of a number of problems. And there's a particular sustainable development goal that your country is not catching up with, probably in education of girls, probably in environmental issues, depending on your area of interest, probably in the aquatic life. The water bodies are polluted, aquatic organisms are dying because of probably oil exploration in your country. So here you're arguing that while the world is moving towards achieving these goals, your country has particular problems because of probably mining or oil exploration or poor girl-child education or because of corruption. So depending on your different areas of interest. So give statistics, give credible sources to back up your claim. So say according to the Human Rights Watch, for instance, or according to the Transparency International Index, according to the World Habitat Foundation, according to this, according to that, my country, Nigeria, ranks 40 out of 45 when it comes to environmental protection. My country ranks 50 out of 52 when it comes to corruption. My country ranks, so you're drawing resources from recognized data sources. So showing that this matter that you want to undertake or this problem you want to solve is quite crucial, is quite urgent, and these are statistics to show that this problem needs urgent attention. So let's go to a particular example, probably the example of environmental pollution caused by oil spillage from crude oil exploration in the Niger Delta in Nigeria, as an example. So here I talk about the environment and how the world government are striving and working hard to clean up the environment, to ensure biodiversity, to clean up the waterways. But your country, Nigeria, is lacking in this area because of oil exploration. The country is heavily reliant on crude oil exports. And during the exploration of this crude oil, lots of water bodies are being polluted. Lots of livelihoods are being lost because farmers and fishermen are taken out of business because of oil spillage. Oil spillage causes this the contamination of the environment, kills aquatic lives, kills fishes, kills birds. also poisons the water for both human beings and animals. And now you're getting statistics to back it up. But according to the National Bureau of Statistics, 2 million people have been affected, 2 million people have been displaced, and 3,000 species of birds have died, 100 species of fish. Just get the statistics to enrich your analysis. And then after this global trend, I hope I've been able to explain. Then you went to a national trend, as I also explained. Then go to your personal experience. Probably you worked in this community for a while, this community with oil spillage. You worked there for a while, either as an intern or as a young professional, and you came face to face with the hardship of the people. You came face to face with the contamination of the environment, and you're concerned about this. However, there is a skill gap. So you've gone there, you've been able to do your own bit in helping to clean up the environment, you've been able to probably relocate people, you've been able to probably provide clean water for a number of people there. But there's still lots of work to be done. So there's a skill gap or there's a knowledge gap. Skill gap because you do not, or your team do not have enough expertise, or there are not enough experts to solve this problem. Or also knowledge gap, the same thing. You don't have enough expertise, enough knowledge to solve this problem. You need more skilled individuals. You need more new innovative technique of cleaning up the environment. The cleanup has been quite slow, and you're concerned about this. You're concerned about the impact of this slow cleanup for the environment, for the livelihoods of people living in this community. And that is why you need a master's degree in things like environmental engineering, in sustainable environmental development, in things like this that relate closely to the issue you've raised initially. So you need a master's degree in this area to help you solve this national problem, so that your country will be positioned to achieving this global development goal of clean environment, clean water, biodiversity, helping the livelihoods of people. So see how we came from the global trend, national trend, and now to your personal experience. Then you have to connect this to the Commonwealth scholarships, one or two, or even all of them if possible, to the major themes. So there are major themes in science, technology of development, strengthening health systems and capacity, promoting global prosperity, strengthening global peace, security, governance, strengthening resilience, response to crisis, access, inclusion, and opportunity. By the way, these themes I just mentioned, they're gotten from the Commonwealth page itself. They got it from the Commonwealth page itself. So I didn't invent them myself. These are the themes they want to look at. And now connect the story that you've crafted to some of these themes. I remember you have just 200 words for this particular essay. So be sharp, go straight to the point. No need of definitions, no need of salutations or elaborate quotations and things like that. Go straight to the point, hit the nail on the head right from the beginning. So connect, you have to connect what I just said or the example I just gave to these themes. And I look at strengthening resilience and response to crisis. It looks good for the example I just gave because there's an environmental crisis caused by oil spillage. We want to help the people affected, we want to help the environment, we want to help the animals. So strengthening resilience and response to crisis chimes well with what I intend to do. Chimes well with what I intend to do. So we could find some other thing. For instance, also in this area I talked about, because of the oil spillage, there have been lots of security challenges as well, governance challenges as well. So because of the oil problem in this area, there have been a number of militant groups as well. So this is a thriving spot for militancy. So solving this environmental problem would also spill over, has beneficial effects when it comes to limiting militancy, limiting youth restiveness, limiting banditry and other things in this area. So this addressing this issue can also help in security and global peace and governance. So now I have about two of them. I have the um, resilience and response to crisis, and I also have security, governance, global peace. So just look for ways to connect these things to the issues you brought initially. Could also talk about science and technology for development. So you're looking for new innovative technology for environmental cleanup. New innovative technology to help adapt or even mitigate environmental pollution. And this comes in as well. So you're not meant to choose everything, of course. You could choose one or two, but try to relate to the points we mentioned earlier, to the particular case you mentioned earlier. And that is it for the first one. So remember, global national trends, art statistics, quotes from credible sources. Then go to your personal experience. You could tell a very quick story related to the issue you're looking at. Then admit the problem of a skill gap, and that is why you need a master's degree to help you with these skills that your team lack or that you lack. Then connect them to these themes, these Commonwealth Scholarship themes, as the question requires. So let's go to the second question. How you intend to apply your new skills and qualification when you return home. So this is the development impact question part 2. How you intend to use the skills we talked about in the first essay. How you intend to use those skills when you return home. This is good. So first, choose a particular sector or related sectors of the economy, of the government, of the environment. Just choose a sector where your skill is most needed. Think of the skill you acquire at the UK university, and think of the sector that is most in need of that skill. So it could be in the example I've given already, it could be the Ministry of Environment, or it could be like an NGO interested in environmental issues. If you're interested in the girl-child education, maybe looking at Ministry of Education, or an NGO working in girls' education, or things like UNICEF, or even private consultancies working in your areas of interest. But first, you have to know the skills you intend to acquire. Be as specific as possible. That during this master's, I hope to acquire the following skills. So give examples of the skills you intend to acquire, as specific as possible. And the best place to get these skills, go to the website of the course you intend to apply to. And usually on the website, they give details about the course, what the course will teach, the skills the course will equip you with. So those are the skills you need. And please do not copy and paste. Write those skills in your own words. That, in this university, I will learn the skills of water purification. I will learn the skills of how to purify water bodies. I will learn the skill of fundraising, of community mobilization, of quantitative, qualitative analysis, of different modes of research, of different modes of experimentation. I will learn global best practices and things like that. So be specific about the skills you're going to learn. Then show precise ways you're going to use these skills to help your community. So when I return, for instance, I'll use the skills I learned on how to purify water bodies to address the issue of oil spillage in the Niger Delta. So I'll join the cleanup team, for instance, share the knowledge I've acquired with them, and to speed up the cleanup of the Niger Delta, which have been polluted by oil spillage. So I'll speed up. Probably there's work going on there already, but I think it's too slow. So I'll go there and join efforts with what is happening there already. Go there and join power with what is happening there already, and teach them this new technique. these new ways of purifying the water bodies that are acquired from the UK university. If you are into girl child education, you say, oh, I'll come back and show innovative ways of engaging parents, of engaging local chiefs, of engaging the community, of sounding to them, of convincing them why the girl child needs to be sent to school. I'll learn ways of community mobilization, improve my communication skills, learn from global best practices and adapt them into my own country reality. So you're giving specific examples of where you intend to work. You could name particular organizations, name particular communities, name particular teams you intend to work with, and how these skills that you mentioned earlier would help these communities, would help these places, these teams I just talked about. So give concrete examples. Be as precise as possible. Don't just hide under general thing. But I'll go back there and help my country. How? I'll go there and strengthen the health system. How? I'll go there and help in the cleanup. How? It's important to specify clearly, without any equivocation, how you will do it, step by step. Drop names of organizations you work with, names of communities you intend to work with. It will make it more realistic than just giving general explanations of what you will do. So I hope that is clear. So first, you're trying to find people you work with, organizations and individuals. You also want to be clear about the skills you intend to acquire in these UK universities. And then, how you intend to use these skills. Clear ways how you intend to use these skills in your community. So let's move to the third essay. So the third essay is about what you expect to change in development terms following your studies, including 1, the outcomes that you aim to achieve, B, the time frame of the implementation, C, who the beneficiaries would be. So most of these questions are quite overlapping, are quite related, and I think it tests your consistency. So if you're telling a story, it has to add up. You can't say you're going to A in the first question, and in the second question you're going to Z. It doesn't flow. There has to be a consistency, and that is why some of these questions are deliberately repetitive in a way. So something you mentioned in the first essay, on the second essay, you might have time to actually expatiate on it in the third essay. So just make sure there's a lot of consistency in what you're saying, that your stories in the different essays add up. So here they want you to state the outcomes you hope to achieve. So remember, we've already said things about the problem we intend to solve, whether it's environment, whether it's girl child education, whether it's corruption, whether it's helping startups with technological innovations on how to be more profitable, on how to expand, on how to get grants. Whatever your concern is, make sure it is consistent from your first question to the 11th question. So here it's asking about outcomes. The first outcome here is a clean environment. With the particular example I gave, that we want to clean up this environment caused and polluted by oil spillage. So we want to clean up this environment to restore the livelihoods of those living in this community and to bring back biodiversity, bring back the fish industry, the wildlife, and everything affected by this oil pollution. So you want to clean up the environment, restore the livelihoods of people, and then help the wildlife and the animals living in these water bodies. Probably also prevent a reoccurrence of this problem, prevent the reoccurrence of this oil spillage by holding these oil companies to task and forcing them to innovate or something to prevent a reoccurrence of this problem. So you're also cleaning up, but you're also compelling oil companies, holding them by their neck to be careful about their practices. And so that's the outcome you want to achieve. Adaptation, mitigation, restoration. I think I should add that as well. Restoring the environment, restoring livelihoods of people regarding these environmental issues. So time frame. This time frame also varies depending on the industry you find yourself, depending on the particular ways you can intervene. You might say, in the short term, that should be in a month, 3 months after I return. By then I would have covered probably some kind of training sessions, or a month or 3 to 3 months after I return, I would have visited these communities to assess the damage. I would have organized conferences, workshops and things like that. So I have short-term goal, long-term goal when it comes to implementation of this project. And for the short term, depending on the amount of months you choose, here I give the example of 1 to 3 months. These are the things I hope to do in the short term. The things I hope to do in the short term. Visit the community, workshop, skill acquisition, and things like that. In the medium term, when it comes to probably 1 year, then join the team to do the cleanup, to start doing the work in essence. So I'll start doing this work, start the cleanup, start the campaign, start the project in essence. And you can see after 1 year, then I'll assess how far I have gone. So 1 year, I hope to have covered a large hectare of land. I hope to have covered a large area when it comes to the cleanup I intend to do. So it depends on the project you engaged in. At first, I'll start with this for the first months I come. Then I'll move to this after 6 months. Then after 1 year, I'll move to, so there's a gradual but steady progression in the way I intend to implement this project. So remember question C, who are the beneficiaries? Rural communities, children or girls in my country, or the whole country as a whole, or both human beings and animals living in this environment. So who is going to benefit from this thing you're doing? Because this scholarship in the first place is about altruism. So they intend to equip you so you equip others. They want to help you sponsor your masters in a UK university. So you go back home and help the community. So who will be the beneficiaries, the direct beneficiaries of these projects, of this task you wish to undertake? Rural communities. You could even mention names. The Niger Delta regions affected by this oil spillage. You could mention villages, you could mention communities affected by this. Or you're dealing with girl-child education in northern Nigeria. Mention the number of states or local governments where you'll be impacting and things like that. So let's move on. Then the fourth question is how the impact of your work could be best measured. So here I said devise indicators, indexes, measurements of your progress. Devise indicators, indexes, measurements of your progress. So let me give a cheeky example with my YouTube channel. So questions I should be asking to assess my progress or to assess my work or to measure my work is, I started this work in June 2020. Then I should ask, how many videos have I been able to release since June 2020? How many subscribers have I earned? How many of my subscribers have been shortlisted for scholarship interviews? And many of my subscribers have actually got scholarships. So these are ways I could measure the progress of my YouTube channel. So you could do the same for the project you intend to undertake. And I know that you've not started that project yet, and you intend to start after your master's degree in the UK university. But try to look into the future. Try to look into the future and see how this project you intend to undertake will be measured. What questions would somebody ask you in 2 years' time or in 3 years' time to assess what you've done or what you will be doing then? Questions like, my project will be measured by the number of girls enrolled in schools. My project will be mentioned by the number of acres of land clean up in 3 months or in 6 months. My project will be measured by the number of participants in my monthly training, the number of startups I've been able to establish, or the number of startups I've been able to help, the number of collaborations I've been able to contract, things like that. So give indicators, measurable indicators, use numbers, indices. That's why I said devise some kind of measurements. That the number of people I've impacted, the number of land I'm able to clean up, or the number of water bodies, whatever way you can measure that, the number of girls I've been able to send to school, the number of parents I've been able to contact, the number of policy briefs I've been able to write, the number of workshops and conferences I've been able to participate in. This could be ways to measure your progress, the impact of your work. And then I think we're done with the first 4. And we have 2 more to go before the end of this video. And remember, this video is divided into 2 parts. This is part 1. We'll be doing the first 6 essays, and in part 2 we'll be doing the other 5. So there are 11 essays, 11 in total, and we'll be doing 6 now and 5 later. So let's move to the next essays. So for essay number 5, you are meant to provide a short outline of your proposed study or research. And this should be written in plain language, even for those who are not in your field. So write it in a way that those not in your field still understand, still follow the argument. So a short outline of your proposed study or research interest. And in case you're using any abbreviation or special terms, make sure they're explained. So how do you go about this? So first mention the course you intend to study and probably the university. You intend to study MSc in Sustainable Engineering, MSc in Bioengineering, MSc in Gender and Development, MSc in FinTech, MSc in fill the blank space at so university. Yes. Then discuss the key modules. Now this MSc has these key modules: intro to this, techniques on this, science of that, and also explain the key modules a little bit more, because there are probably 6, 7, 8 modules. So you select about probably 2, 3, 4 modules and explain what these modules are all about, what's the course content of these modules. And of course you get this info from the website of the course you intend to apply for. So make sure you do not just copy and paste. It's important. Or you're writing this in your own words. That, I intend to study this. These are the key modules. In this modules we'll be looking at this. In this modules we'll be looking at this. In that module we'll be looking at that. And you can also give them a glimpse into your proposed area of research or your dissertation, what you'll be looking at in your master's dissertation. Of course, this is just tentative and it might change. It might change with time, but just have a general area of interest. And this general area of interest of course, can be connected to the problem you've exposed initially in your initial essays. This environmental cleanup, this problem of girl-child education, this issue of helping startups with financial technology. So you could choose a tentative dissertation area and explain what you intend to explore in this tentative research and this tentative master's dissertation, and how it connects to the problem we exposed initially. So remember, we want consistency here. So for instance, you can't say you're interested in environmental cleanup, and when you're talking briefly about your dissertation, you're mentioning something about mountains, for instance, about mountains, how to study mountains. Well, it might be an interesting topic to look at, but it's a little bit disconnected from the problem you raised initially in your initial essays. So there's a bit of a disconnect here. So it's probably better to choose something that chimes well with the problems you've exposed initially. So looking up for how to community involvement in environmental cleanup in the Niger Delta. That sits well with the problem you've mentioned earlier. Or a special scientific technique to clean the water bodies to restore aquatic life in the Niger Delta in Nigeria. That would be a beautiful dissertation topic that chimes well with the problem you exposed. And there'll be more on dissertation topic soon. There'll be another essay on the dissertation topic. So don't talk about that too much. You could just give us a glimpse of what you intend to do. So here, talk about the course you intend to apply to. The key modules and why they excite you. The key debates and topics, techniques you hope to learn from these modules, and a bit of the research you intend to undertake. And remember, you shouldn't be overly technical by talking about these things. Make sure that somebody outside your field is still able to follow your arguments, still able to follow your accounts of your proposed study, your proposed research. And as I said, you get info on your proposed study from the website of the course you intend to apply for. So let's go to essay number 6. By the way, be mindful of the word count. Be mindful of the word count. Do not exceed the word count. Question number 6 talks about provide a detailed plan of your proposed study. The selection committee will want to understand why you selected your proposed course and university. Oh, there's a typo here. The Commonwealth board made a typo here, but yeah, let's rub it in a little bit. They made a typo here. So now they want you to discuss why you selected that particular university. So why you have chosen your proposed course and university, and why you want to undertake the study in the UK. Secondly, what is it that you are looking for in a course, and how your chosen course relates to your objective. Then any dissertation topic you have in mind. Remember, we talked about the dissertation topic quickly here. So this is another time to reiterate what you've said earlier. So detailed plan for study, that's the theme of this one. So another deductive method here, and deductive method, a pyramid upside down. So you start with the broad, then you go to the particular. Very broad initially, then you narrow down, like a pyramid upside down. That's what I mean here, pyramid upside down. So with the broad, let's begin. Talk about UK universities, their high rankings. That UK universities constitute the top 10, top 20, top 50, top 100, depending on which one you want to choose, and cite evidence from things like the QS ranking, things like the higher education ranking. There are several university rankings out there of global universities to show that UK universities are among the top universities in the world. Not just said it, but you're drawing citations from a number of sources according to the QS ranking, according to the Times Higher School ranking, according to the Guardian University ranking. UK universities are positioned here, positioned there when it comes to the rankings of global universities. They talk about the particular university you're applying to. How is your university ranked? And how is the course you're applying to ranked? Because there's not just university ranking, but there are also course rankings. So let me try to quickly show you an example of what I mean. Let's go to one of these university rankings. Particularly, let's go to the QS, particularly the QS ranking. So this is the QS ranking I told you about. This is the QS ranking I told you about. And this is the rankings of different universities. The rankings of different universities. But you can also get course rankings. You could also get, these are the different kinds of rankings you could get. You could also get university ranking by subject. So, for instance, you're looking for the best medical university, or university in development studies, or university in politics. You could always select a subject. Select a subject and say, when it comes to anthropology, this university actually has it. When it comes to technology, this university actually has it. When it comes to social sciences and management, this university actually has it. So check where your university lies when it comes to the different subjects. So let's go back to our essay. So we talked about the highly ranked UK universities, drawing evidence from the QS ranking and the rest. Talk about the university applying to and its ranking. Could also get evidence from the QS ranking, other kinds of rankings, and also info from the university on the course page. But do not cut and paste. I cannot overemphasize this. Do not cut and paste. Avoid plagiarism. Plagiarism means copying and pasting without any acknowledgement. So try to write all these things in your own words. So when you get some info about a university bragging about how they are top in the world or top in the UK or top in a particular department, or how they have a particular lab or the faculty or things like that, you could always get those information from the university page, but do not copy and paste. So now we talked about UK universities highly ranked, your particular department, your particular university, how they are ranked, what are their strengths. Then quickly talk about the skills you intend to learn from this university. The skills you intend to learn from this university, the research technique, the exposure to global best practices, the particular method of analysis you intend to learn. Could talk about the faculty as well of this university. Probably drop names of professors, drop names of faculty members you hope to work with, whose research interests align with yours, and who could be possible dissertation advisors and supervisors and things like that. Then see how those courses you've chosen will help you solve the problem we mentioned earlier. So if your problem is getting girls to school because girls are disproportionately out of school in your country because of a number of factors, you could say you want to study gender, education and development, because this course will equip you with analysis to show you the problems and causes of disproportional educational outcomes, and also give you insights into ways of addressing this problem, and teach you best practices around the world. And you could adapt these best practices to your particular case, the particular community you intend to intervene in. So if you're interested in girl-child education, a course like gender, education and development fits perfectly into what you intend to do. Environmental pollution, environmental engineering, for instance, MSc environmental engineering, MSc sustainable engineering, MSc sanitation and aquatic life, something like that addresses the issue we're looking at. I think I talked already about the professors and the area of interest that also align with yours. So there's a professor that does a research on girl child education. There's a professor that talks something about education and development. And you say, oh, I'd like to work with this professor because he or she talks about an area of research that I'm interested in. He or she has published this, has published that in this area of interest. And then I would probably like to work with her, probably want to have her as my supervisor, as an advisor, or things like that. Then remember, another opportunity to talk about your proposed dissertation topic. And try as much as possible to make it focused on the problems you've raised earlier. Try to make it as focused as possible on the problems you've raised earlier. So it will show that your dissertation is aimed at helping your country or your community of origin. Your country or your community of origin. And this is how we started with the deductive method, pyramid upside down. Very broad initially, then we narrow it down. So UK universities, their high rankings, where does your own university fall in here and the course you're applying for? What are the particular strengths? You can get this from several places on the net. So what skills do you intend to learn from this university? How does the course you intend to undertake align with the problem you want to solve? Are there professors, are there faculty members, are there facilities in these universities that align with this problem you intend to solve? Then what is your tentative dissertation topic? And try to make this topic focused on the problem you've exposed initially. Remember, consistency is key. You should have one central narrative, one central issue, one central problem that permeates all your essays, a thread that binds your different essays together. And yes, that is it, guys, for the 6 first essays. We'll be doing the other ones shortly, the other essays shortly. And remember, these things need planning. It's almost impossible to write all these essays in one go, in one sitting. Just sit down and write everything. You need to plan, have an outline, probably take a walk somewhere, do a lot of introspection before you come up with answers. And then I wish you good luck. And put your questions below. I'll try to get back to you. I'm personally in the middle of an exam, so I'm a little bit occupied at the moment, but I always create time to check what is happening on social media and on YouTube. So I'm at the moment writing a number of papers for my first year PhD assessment. So I'm quite busy, to be honest, but yeah, I will always make out time for this. So the second video on the other parts of this application process, the second video on the other essays, that's essay 7 to 11, will be released subsequently. So we've done 6 already, we've done a lot already, and this can get you going before we release the others. And that's it, guys. Until next time, I'll see you sooner than later. So stay inspired and start working. Remember to also apply to the universities as well while you're doing this. So look for the universities, look for the courses, and start applying to those courses while you're also applying to this portal. So it's a two-way application. You're applying to the universities and also applying on this portal. So until next time, guys, see you soon. Stay inspired, start working now.